Test, test, mic test. Good afternoon, everyone. How to generate an online income. Welcome to our afternoon sessions here, where we go live Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We'll just get some of our mic tests up and running here for the group, and we should be ready to jump into today's content. I'm going to touch base here with some of my panelists. Do let me know if the screen is coming out clearly on your end. And definitely looking to touch base here from some of the members and people that we have following this particular series. Lauren, go ahead and do a mic test for us here.
Hey, guys.
Excellent, excellent. Can hear you loud and clear. Okay, perfect. Looks like the webcam is coming out clearly as well. Let me go ahead and check some of the chat lines, make sure the audio is coming out good for everybody. And while we do that, Lauren, I will turn over the presentation control slides over to you so we can get your slides up for the session here today. Steve, good to see you live on the noon session. Any updates from the group coaching students that are part of the Internet Marketing Series?
You always ask me the tough questions on a Monday. No, I don't think we got anything at the moment. If there might be a thing or two, I'll hit you up offline though.
Okay,
Nothing
excellent.
at the moment.
All right. Well, it looks like we will have some hush-hush updates here later this afternoon. I think I just saw the email go out on the video and registration for that particular link. Let me go ahead and pull that up here for everyone and take a look-see. Okay, go over to this. We're doing it together. Okay, perfect. All right. Now, this webinar, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be at, I don't know, I'll get the details up here for everybody while Lauren gets her segments going. But Lauren, looks like
are you talking about the webinar tonight?
Yes. Do you know what time that's going to be?
It's at 6.
6 p.m. Awesome. So that will be at 6 o'clock later here today. If you guys are part of that group, please make sure that you are registered for that particular training series. You will not want to miss that. I believe it might have something to do with an upcoming product launch. It may cover some frequently asked questions with regards to the live event that we are hosting and having later in May. All right, so definitely want to make sure you are on that call, and we'll catch that particular session. I've got my screen up. We've got backup recordings going on. Audio is coming out loud and clear. Lauren, can you take us on a quick recap of what we covered here last week? And let's go ahead and jump into your segment here today. We have two components to these particular sessions. The first half is catered to our group coaching students, our business clients and members who is following along, implementing the strategies that we are talking about. One of the benefits as being part of the group coaching program or a business client is that we do actually review some of the action items that you're working on. You have direct access to myself, Lauren, Steve, the other coordinators and content specialists who are part of this series to help move your business forward. If you're interested in generating an online income, you are in the right place. We are going to be talking about both free and paid methods on how to generate an online income, build traffic for your website, and get subscribers. We've got a couple of paid ads already out to help build our subscribers list, so we'll be releasing some of those results later here this week. Lauren is currently covering a segment or series talking about solo ads. Do check out the replays either on this site or on the YouTube channel where you are viewing this video. There'll be an opt-in box with contact details above or somewhere around this particular post wherever you're watching it. Want to make sure that you are part of our subscribers list. You do get preferred access during these particular webinars that we conduct. And there are some nice little bonuses that we have lined up for you as well, including a complimentary copy into our affiliate marketing membership website where we are waiving the fees and gives you a 101 or a good overview and some options talking about what is affiliate marketing. A lot of us, when we first got started on the internet, don't have any products or services, like as a business to really sell for ourselves. But that's the beauty of affiliate marketing. Somebody else has built a product providing a service. They've put together marketing pieces and done a lot of the heavy lifting. All you have to do is promote or talk about that particular product and help people come to an educated decision whether or not they should make the purchase and do business, right? So, Lauren, go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to put myself on mute, check some of the chat line, and monitor some of the stuff that's going on for our session here today.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. So to catch you guys up on as far as what solo ads are, if you've missed the previous ones, definitely check out the replays. So pretty much the idea with the solo ad is that somebody else has built a list. Maybe, they're an authority in the field. They're having a blog. A lot of them, I was using a scenario last week because I was so all entranced with my bird stuff. So if my bird club was looking to place a solo ad, what we would do is we would look for bird-related websites, and perhaps they had a newsletter on, little tricks. Hey, if your parrots are biting, join this newsletter. So basically, it's those kind of websites. They're already up and running. There has an opt-in box, so people give somebody their email address. They join their newsletter. Maybe they bought something from them. Basically, somebody else has captured email addresses and built a list. A solo ad leverages their list. So what they're going to do is, say Bob over there with his list. You say, hey, Bob. And then it would be a paid service. You'd pay Bob, and he would send out an email to everybody on his list, or perhaps maybe you just bought a portion of his list. But basically, he would send that email out to his subscribers on what it is that you're trying to offer. So that's basically, in a nutshell, what a solo ad is. So we talked previously about how to find a list, sources on that. Then, and keeping in mind a solo ad, although it's a paid traffic method strategy, usually you're not going to get, a break even or make a lot of money initially when you run the ad. You might get a few sales, which are fantastic, but the fortune's in the follow-up. So basically a solo ad gets a lot more interested people and building your list, and then it's up to you to cultivate and can build a relationship with your subscribers, which we pointed out, they're people, not just email addresses. And then from there, once you have that relationship, then the conversion should follow. So we talked a little bit and got into follow-ups and conversions. Today I'm going to talk about autoresponders, and this is basically ways to put your business on autopilot. So an autoresponder, you've most likely gotten them from all sorts of different sources. So it's pretty much a generic email. A lot of times they are personalized if you gave your name initially on the list. So it'll say, hey, Lauren, and then whatever it might be. But it's going out to everybody on an autoresponder. A thing with that, usually at the end, it'll say where it's sent by. If it's get response, constant contact, things like that. It'll say down at the bottom, and then it'll also have an unsubscribe link. That's a great way to be able to tell that, oh, okay, it's an autoresponder message. So don't take it personally. It's just the way that we put our business and build relationships literally on autopilot. So the biggest thing is your autoresponder. The purpose of it is to get people to open your email and then to click on whatever it is that you're asking of them in your autoresponder. So keep in mind, this is not your solo ad. This is once you sent it out, it's building the relationship with the email addresses or subscribers that you got from running your ad. The subject line is a very important aspect because that will get people to open it. Email marketing, the most important thing is the from name. They want to have a relationship with you, or in their case, their list. And that's where you want to be careful on what you're sending out, because if people suddenly are like, oh, I don't like Lauren's messages, they're never going to open them. So make sure, your from name is the most important thing, even more than a subject line or something like that, because it's just, are people even interested at the basic level when an email comes from you. So the email body, kind of the basic purpose of that one is just to invoke some curiosity, maybe give some info, put in a link, things like that. You can definitely, give them tips. You want to provide a lot of value, which we touched based on before. Even if it's an autoresponder and you're not directly giving them a personalized tip or something like that, that's okay. You're still giving value and building that relationship basically on autopilot. Cool. So basically, what a great formula for an autoresponder, your headline, like your subject line, it's what is it about? So, I know a lot of people, they might have, okay, I'm going to be talking about Facebook strategies. So their autoresponders for however long they want to do it is all going to be about Facebook. So basically, what is the lesson coming up if you're talking about Facebook marketing? And then the biggest thing is, what's the benefit for them? It's one thing for me to say, hey, read this email for, to learn about Facebook marketing. Okay, some people might be interested. But if I say, 5 tips on Facebook that will, drastically improve your business in the next 7 days, that is equaling a benefit for them, and they're much more inclined to read what you have to say. So basically a headline, get their attention, a lesson to give them value, and then it's a great idea to throw in a connector. And how does this lesson relate to what it is their goal is? Remember, if they joined your list, it's because they believe that you can give them value and help solve a problem of theirs. So make sure that it always relates back to the initial reason why they would have joined your list. And that also touches base with what I talked about last week, which is consistency. And, if you're, however it is that you're marketing them, if you got them, on a bird list about birds biting, then I shouldn't go and talk about suddenly, bird food, because it doesn't relate to it. I can gradually cultivate those kind of things, but you want to make sure that everything's consistency and put that connector back in there so they remember why they initially wanted to be on your subscriber basis, because they thought you'd give them value. And then make sure that most likely you're going to give them a link because you want them to take some sort of action. So make sure that in that link, it's going to be taken to a landing page or something like that. But there's definitely a link generally in all autoresponders because you want them to actually take action on what it is you have to say. So a basic, an idea with autoresponders is you want to pre-sell people on why they want to join and buy from you. Keep in mind, most of these autoresponders are people that have not yet, had a relationship. They've probably not talked to you yet, so you don't have that relationship, and that's why with the autoresponder, it's supposed to build up on that and start building your relationship and cultivating it without you having to personally remember and address all these emails to all these different people on your list. So it's a big amount of pre-sale, and it's also building value, rapport. They're starting to have a relationship with you. Trust happens when somebody feels understood. So whether, as we talked about previously, you might want to be connecting to them if they're just getting started. That might be some people. You also can connect with people that maybe they've been doing something for a long time. They're having some success, but they believe that you can take them to the next level of their success. Then you want to meet them at that end. So make sure to give them, and whenever they feel like you can relate to them on what it is that they're doing and help them, that's when trust is formed, and that's where your pre-sale takes place, that they're more inclined to eventually purchase from you. And then tying back to what we talked about last week as well, make sure to give without the expectation of getting anything back. Just give value, give advice, as much as you can give, even in the form of autoresponders. That's fine. You literally set it up and you can give that value, and that will also help to build a relationship with your subscribers in your list. And that's the biggest thing. Always provide value. If you're not providing value, people are not interested in your emails. They're not going to be opening your autoresponders. So it really does no good to send them out if nobody's interested in what you have to say. And then the subject line, we talked about last week, some great strategies to get them open, but definitely make sure if your subject line sucks, no one's going to open it, and then the whole point is defeated. Cool. As I touched on before, your from name is the most important. Don't mess up that reputation. So make sure to just cultivate that name, and that's also why with solo ads, that they have a cost associated, and they want to screen you because that's their name. And if they're sending out some an advertisement of yours, and maybe your link goes to something kind of weird or something like that, well, their name was on the line by sending that email out. They don't want their name to get trashed either with their subscriber base. So definitely keep in mind, wherever it's from, people always want to protect that from name in their emails. And another thing, they said, remind them why they're receiving their emails. And unsubscribes are not a bad thing. Literally, all you're doing is cleaning house and get rid of the people that have no interest in hearing from you anyways. So don't take the unsubscribes personally. It's just a matter of weeding out people that are not interested.
Yeah, Lauren, I'll jump in real quick with regard to the unsubscribe. You'll hear this from some marketers, right? If you're not pissing people off, you're not marketing hard enough. And you don't have to take that to the extreme and have to like piss people off. I think a good rule of thumb there is if you're not getting a reaction or a response, if you're not getting any replies to your email blasts, then I would attempt to send more emails just to get a response. Send an email with no links, just all text, and just say, hey, just wondering if you're still in the internet marketing space. That way you know that they are getting the emails, they are in fact opening them, get response, and the autoresponders we use have tools that track and give you that kind of information. But it also helps when you just have a simple stripped down email sent out, and see if you get any replies that way. Okay, so it does help to get a reaction. Now, another thing you can do with regards to the unsubscribe feature, like Lauren said, it's not necessarily such a bad thing. If they are no longer interested or if they want to move on, that's absolutely fine and okay. You should be constantly refreshing your list of subscribers on a regular basis anyway, using free and paid traffic methods. Now, when you send out an email blast, okay, I definitely recommend at the end of your email. So, for example, your signature is all the best and it's Gil, and then it's got your phone number, right? On the very last line, hit enter and hold enter down for about 5 to 7 seconds up until you create like this huge gap inside of the autoresponder where you're designing that email so that when they open your email, when your subscriber takes a look at that email, they see your marketing message. And if they want to opt out, they can definitely opt out. They just have to they got to scroll all the way down to the bottom to find the unsubscribe button, right? Now, use that wisely, don't abuse it. But what we want to avoid is having that unsubscribe feature so prominent that you mislead the lead or the person thinking that that is the call to action that want them
That'd
to
be
do,
horrible.
right? I mean, so be clear in your email. Hey, just wanted to touch base, see how things were going. Maybe you missed a couple of email updates here recently. We'll be sending you some new updates, so stay tuned. If you're still in the game and just busy, no worries. Just wanted to let you know, still thinking about you. Send me feedback and let's talk sometime soon, right? So just wanted to throw that out there on how you can create that big gap in the autoresponder account so that the lead doesn't have or isn't, they don't mistake the next call to action to unsubscribe, since it's not prominent, but it's highlighted in blue towards the email on there. But go ahead, Lauren. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, no, that's a great point with that, because yeah, that'd be awful. Okay. So yeah, another strategy with that to keep people opening your autoresponders, kind of what I mentioned earlier, is if you're doing like a segment on Facebook, but take them on a journey, let them know, and if you leave them on cliffhanger so they're eagerly awaiting your next emails, that's a great thing to try to get your response up. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But the biggest thing is to be personal. Write it as if it's to your friends. You don't want, dear blank, thank you for this. Sincerely, Lauren. And that, no, that's not, nobody wants to read those kind of emails. So definitely make sure, however it is that you talk. And earlier when we talked about marketing strategies, and definitely like Bill said, you'd want to, like you said, be pissing people off, but you also have your styles. There's certain things that I personally wouldn't try because that's not the way that I talk or come across. So you want to make sure that your personality is reflected in your emails, regardless of whether they're a personal email or on an autoresponder. You definitely want to make sure that your personality comes through, because if it's very generic or if it's not like you, people are going to be kind of put off from that, and they don't want that. So just make sure, regardless if it's an autoresponder, talk as if you're talking to a friend. It shouldn't matter the fact that it's blasting out to millions. Well, not millions, that'd be awesome. But if it's blasted out to a lot of people. Email tricks. So just things in there, just to throw into your autoresponders. A video image, we had talked about that earlier, is having basically an image and then you're doing a little ninja strategy and putting a play button graphic on the top of your image. People think that that's a video, they go to click on it, and it's actually a link that takes them to your landing page. So that's a pretty awesome trick. You can definitely put in links. There's different strategic links that you can kind of not, trick people on it, but you can definitely tweak things and get them to click on things that, rather than just say, click here to buy or something, you can definitely, oh, hold on. Have that responses. Bonuses and giveaways, a great thing to have in there too. And then always try to put in a social media invite. What I like to do is, hey, I'm a real person. I put my phone number. I say, connect with me on Facebook. So like we talked about last week is, the whole pickup analogy as far as going different places, and that in the dating scene, it also works in the online space as well. Whereas, if you're just having a relationship with them via email, you want to try to drive them to other forms. So get them to connect with you on Facebook, get them to connect with you, say on Twitter or YouTube. And the more places that they're connected with you, you guys are also having a stronger relationship. And they're also not going to be thinking of you as just, a name, that's coming into their inbox. It's, oh, Lauren's a real person. I see on her Facebook, she posts interesting things of value. Oh, there's pictures of her kids. They're starting to think of me as a person and not just, another marketer. And that also helps to build the relationship. A ninja open rate strategy. This one's pretty cool. So basically, whenever you come up with an email, figure out your subject line. So the first one might say, I'm going to use brackets in this one. So free video, 3 tips to blank. Well, then you want the second one to be reply, and then I like this one. It's what happened, and then reply, things like that. Now, where those come into play is you're going to send your entire list subject number 1. Then in your autoresponder accounts, I personally use GetResponse, and you guys, there's definitely links if you're watching replays to go and get yourself one. But those ones, what you do is it'll actually tell you the unopens, and you can mail them or email them with subject number 2. So you're sending the exact same email. You know that they didn't open it because your autoresponder thing is going to tell you that. So you're going to mail all the people that didn't open the first one a second repeat email, slightly different subject line, and especially the reply makes them think, wait, what? I replied to them? So they're more likely to open it. And so do that with number 2, and then this repeat one last time with the unopens from number 2, repeat those with subject line number 3, and that should, generally we see about a 15 to even 35% higher open rate when you're sending the same thing to those unopened emails with those, very similar subject lines can definitely help to get your open rate, because that's the bottom line is we want them to open and then ideally click through onto what we want them to do. Perfect. So just kind of a recap and wrap it up here. The perfect purpose of effective sales copy. We can just kind of read it through and, kind of go from there. Gil, if you have little things to jump in, definitely. But it's just a great list of, the purpose of where all of this is going. And you're going to put all of this ideally into your autoresponders. So you want to get their attention and then keep it, pique their interest, curiosity. You also want to make it look inviting. Just a regular boring email is going to be different than if there's different photos and different things engaging in there. Make sure that you communicate clearly. You don't want to be all garbled and things like that. You definitely want to make sure everything, because you want people to read it and not to get it confused. And read it, and that's where I said make sure your personality comes through. It should be enjoyable to read. You don't want to just be sending somebody a sales pitch email. Those are boring and they're not going to be effective at all. You can also offer to solve their problems, or, give them pleasure. Lauren's emails are just so entertaining. I hope my list thinks. So then they're more likely to read my emails just because they enjoy it. And they always get value and things like that. And you want people to be, always intrigued when you send an email from them, just like, oh yeah, there's another one, delete, delete, delete. So other things you want to, let them know about the results. Hey, if you take action, then you're going to be getting, this wonderful thing. If you take action and you join me right here and, check out my webinar and telling you about Facebook, well, you can get your business to all these great things, and think about all the, the, wonderful things. You can go on a vacation now with all the boost of your business from Facebook ads. So definitely, make them think about what the pleasures they can have as a result of taking action on what it is that you want them to do. You can definitely overcome their objections and remove their risk through your sales copy. The more you relate to them and give them so much value, they're not going to object from buying from you, or they're not going to, oh, well, Lauren, she hasn't really sent me any good stuff, so why would, I buy this $50 product from her, because the rest of her emails aren't that great. So instead, if you're giving awesome value for free, you want the thought to be, wow, if she's giving this much great stuff for free, I know if I buy that $50 thing, wow, I can't even imagine how good that'll be. So that's the kind of thing that you want to be coming across in your emails and building that relationship. You definitely like the urgency to buy. You don't want to overuse scarcity tactics, but at the same time, scarcity tactics aren't bad. In my party business, generally most of our packages are always on sale for a limited time, but they do very well that way. And definitely make sure that you give them a call to action. And if people don't know what you want them to do, if you don't actually tell them where to go or things like that, a lot of people, they'll read your email, it'll be fantastic, and oh yeah, that was great, and then they're done. If you don't actually ask for them to do something and say, hey, if you like this email, make sure you go do blank, you need to give them action. Otherwise, back to square one, you're not, you might be building a relationship, but you're never going to get any sales or progress that relationship if you're not directing them on what to do next. And then here's also going back to how that subject line, or not subject line, sorry, but your from name is so great. Make sure, here's just some tips on how to build your credibility and get people thinking of you as an expert, which ties into all this stuff. And definitely, you want them, when they see your name, sent them the email, wow, this is fantastic stuff. So you definitely want to make sure, and this is all ways to build up your credibility so people like to open it.
Yeah, I'll jump in on that one, Lauren. When you're looking at this 12 ways to credibility, again, keep in mind, we have members that are following along, subscribers that already have companies. They are already online entrepreneurs. And so they've been doing marketing, they've been creating content for a long time now. And so when you have options or are starting to wonder what else can I do, and not just creating blog posts, right? I have time now to check out and to provide or build out other digital assets. These are some great little strategies and digital assets you can start to get into and start piecing together. If you are just starting out, right? Focus on building the good habits of posting on a daily basis, whether it's a video post, an article, an image, something. Now, one of the benefits of being part of our group coaching student is that there is fresh content created for you, if not every day, every other day. So you have the incredible job and the most difficult challenge of hitting copy, paste, and post onto a particular website, the video training that we did on a certain day. Right? That's your worst case scenario. That you have content done for you. All you have to do is copy, paste it onto your website for your targeted audience, for your subscribers, to be able to continue creating content on a regular basis. So again, if you're brand new, focus on posting daily. If you already have a blog, a website, and a company of your own, then you can take a look at some of these other additional great marketing tools and channels to expand and broaden your horizon. Okay, I do not recommend you write a book or you start your own radio host show or jump into a live event because you're going to go back to step one. And if you follow this video series along, whether you go the detailed version or the quick start challenge, okay, there are certain pieces you have to have in place before you go into some of these other media and marketing channels. Lauren and I did a very thorough job of breaking down the earlier stages. So please watch this video series in succession. Start from the very start of the playlist or the blog that you are looking at right now. But with that in mind, Lauren, go ahead, continue.
Perfect. So yeah, this is just a list, and don't worry, I do know how to count. So the other two are on the next slide. But anyway, so just different things on articles and things like that that we've touched about. How-to videos are great, and then basically getting out and speaking, whether you're a guest speaker, either in person or on webinars. You actually get to the point that you're hosting webinars or workshops, things like that. But just the more that you do, just builds up your credibility, whether it's online, in person, all of those kind of merge together, and you definitely start building that credibility and getting you as an expert in your niche, which is the goal of this whole web series, is to be able to produce an income website, and that's really based on your credibility, because who's going to buy from you if you're just Joe Schmo? So you want them, wow, this person is fantastic. You've built up your blog, you have all of this credibility, and that's how you start to get your fans and your followers. And then the last one, with these two, is just to actually claim what your expertise and your greatness is. If you don't believe that you're doing a good job, who else is going to believe you on it? So you definitely need to make sure, whatever it is, it's okay to, you might not feel like you're an expert at it, but like we touched base on before, you most likely, especially just by coming on these webinars, you're going to know a whole lot more than somebody who's just getting started. So own your expertise, just, hey, I'm learning it, but here's where I'm at, and you're always going to be further along than somebody else.
Nice. I'm glad you ended with that one, Lauren, because I actually had prepared some quotes this week. I do make time to go through personal development. For me, it really helps. Right now, we are going through some ridiculous challenges as a business in real estate. We are on the cusp of what could be our biggest year. But we have to do a lot of due diligence. We have to spend a lot of money on marketing, and I know it's there. And there's some nights where I'm up until like 4 or 5 in the morning, just completely anxious, wondering how the heck are we going to continue? What do we need to do? And sometimes it feels really overwhelming, right? So one thing that definitely helps me, and to avoid burnout and to keep things in focus and check, people think that, they quit on internet marketing, or they quit on their company and their business. That's not really what happens, guys. When you decide to give up and quit, what you're really quitting on is the goals and dreams for yourself. So if you're looking to provide for your family, and you quit on your entrepreneurial project or your business, right, what you're giving up are those particular goals. So if you're looking to take your family on the best vacation they've ever had yet, what you're giving up is that, right? Not so much the business. Let's put things in a perspective here. And so personal development really helps me get through some of those challenges, keeps my head in the game, or at least allows me to have an avenue where I can clear my mind and focus on what matters most, and get the big rocks out of the way, right? So I'll end with this. Make sure you guys are having your personal development. I personally I'm going through Bob Proctor's content. He really helps me out in terms of having a really good mentality, thinking big, and progressing and moving forward. I also am currently rereading John Maxwell's leadership content on personal development as well. All right. That way, again, you stay in the game. You have an avenue, so you know what to focus on. You don't get overwhelmed by all the other noise, because it's those little other annoying stuff that can really distract you and take away from what you should be doing. If you are just starting out and you are just proceeding with how to generate and build an online income or an income producing website, then you need to start with the Quick Start Challenge on the website that you're viewing this post on, or in the YouTube playlist. Look that up. It's under the Quick Start Challenge. Everybody in my organization or network or subscriber that is following has that category. And it shows you step by step where to buy a domain name, what it's all for, what type of hosting you need, how to install WordPress. In under an hour, you can have a fully functioning, customizable website that you can start putting some meat on the bones on. Okay, so that's step one. Go through the Quick Start Challenge. Number two, once you have a website, what do you do next? You got to be creating content or posting content daily. Not even creating it daily, just posting content daily. Okay, because a worst case scenario for our group coaching students is that we have a done for you component where you have a video, you have a training material, you have something to post or share on that day. Just say what you like, what you don't like, review it, or implement it. Okay, if you have time and if you want it bad enough, right, and if you really want to hit some serious financial goals, create content, original content of your own. track your results, share your stories, share something personal or a challenge you had overcome or your background. Allow your subscribers to get to know you and build up the good habit of posting on a daily basis. Okay. Now, maybe WordPress is too intimidating for you right now. That's okay. I personally didn't start out with a WordPress website. I started out with a rinky-dink website or one of those free blogging platforms. Once I started posting daily, I knew a little bit about SEO and how to fill in the blanks correctly, and where to purchase paid marketing and how to do my own free organic promotion and marketing. Then I went into a paid blog, okay, which has built-in tools. All right. And nowadays, guys, you can find these tools for about $1 a day. Okay. So I'll end with this, guys. It's a quote by Henry David Thoreau. If you guys haven't read The Walden Pond, I definitely recommend that you read it. I love reading that book and rereading it. I definitely pick up some good insight. I reread that book about once a year, right? Sometimes I'll even go twice just because it's super cool. And one day I may just go on like 1 year, just go off the grid, live in the world, or, live in the wilderness or in some island and just document and journal that whole experience, right? But here's a quote by Henry Thoreau, and you guys can look this up. I'll have it available on the replay, or if you should be seeing Lauren's screen. I have learned that if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life he has imagined, he will meet with success unexpected in common hours. And for the last 2-3 weeks, I've been freaking myself out mentally. There's so many things that we're on the cusp of. There's a lot of deliverables and deadlines going out. And that's just on the business side. On the personal side, we've had back-to-back weddings and different weekends. We're going out of town. Families coming in. We have to accommodate other relatives. It's just a lot of different things, right? So instead of being worried about this whole project or about seeing some financial success in your new business, whether you are starting an income-producing blog about a financial journey to success, or you are promoting a company, product, or going into business for yourself, advance confidently. Right? And if you're not confident about advancing moving forward, chances are it's because you are missing out on those daily little things. Reading your personal development, 5 to 10 pages, okay? Or listening to an audiobook, or you're not posting daily. Okay, for those of you that are starting out, I know you're freaking out because you're not posting daily. And when you don't post daily, that little thing that you ignored for about 2 weeks now becomes this monstrous task that you have to chip away from. So it gets a little bit scary. But at the end of the day, motivate yourself, and you may have to put some fire under your bum to keep moving forward. Just don't go so extreme that you are starting to think negative and starting to worry. All right. Advance confidently in the direction as long as you are moving towards the particular goal and you're doing those concrete things. If you're a beginner, post daily. Watch these webinars, take some good notes, and share feedback. If you are in our medium to advance in the group coaching or the business clients, right, for those that already have 10, 20, 6-figure a month type of businesses, then you need to be focusing on optimizing your marketing funnels and adding additional lead and traffic sources, whether free or paid, right? So advance confidently, guys. On behalf of Lauren, myself, Mr. Steve Clutch, who spearheads the group coaching program, thank you so much for joining us here today. We'll see you live tomorrow at 12 noon for our continuation of our daily internet marketing series. This month, moving forward, right? Lauren's gonna continue with some paid marketing stuff. I'm gonna talk about that too, because I've done some paid marketing here in the last 2 weeks to hit my goals, right? Now, if most of the content that I will personally be covering over the next 30 days, May, moving forward, is actually going to be about, hold on 1 second, let me just update my screen. We'll be talking about free marketing sources. Okay, one of the biggest challenges and the most common stuff that we hear about is just that, right? What do we do, or is it possible to generate an online income on an absolute free basis, a true free basis? And so I've done some research. I've taken a look at my business model and what we're doing with our website and found ways to complement our training series so that I can apply some of these things myself, right? And so majority of my content over the next 30 days will be free marketing that you can do. This was brought about by some of the recent videos you guys saw recently on how some of our members are kind of like straggling along or will attend one session a week. But you hear them talk about, hey, we just made a sale or we made our first affiliate commission, and they don't even have their website up yet. And that can be sort of annoying, right? You're just like, man, I spent like 2 hours a day working on my website, and some dude on Gil's webinar or one of Lauren's students doesn't even have a website and he's making commissions. Like, what the heck is going on? And so we want to integrate and bring more of that to the forefront of what we're doing, and really feature that. So we're going to be talking about free marketing, and I'll take on the challenge of can you do this all for free? Focusing on that, even when it comes to the different tools that you can implement for your business, because some of you may need to make some of those updates and changes, or would like to integrate more of that. Okay. Later this week, there is no session tomorrow. We have no sessions tomorrow at 12 noon, so definitely take that into account. Or you know what? Maybe Lauren will be able to have the session if Mr. Steve Clutch jumps on. Mr. Clutch, could you chime in for a second? I posted something in our members only forum, and we absolutely need to text blast, email blast, whatever else blast we can come up with to make sure that they attend tonight's event and updates on our internet marketing funnels for our group coaching students. Can you check the forum and confirm you got that?
Let me check.
It is the new pinned post at the very top of our forum.
Okay, so are you going to be doing any informing, or do you want me to email, text, do all those different ones to everybody?
Email, text everybody out. If I have some time today, I'm going to text them from my personal accounts so that they get hit 2-3 times. Lauren, I would recommend you reach out to everybody as well, even if it's just on the Facebook group. Tag them on there. Make sure that they watch tonight's updates, because there's going to be some major stuff to our internet marketing funnel, which includes, I am assuming, don't quote me on this, free marketing trials for everybody across the board, and some other really cool stuff. I think from a 2014 standpoint, this is going to be one of the biggest updates and changes, and will sets the tone for the rest of the year, and going into 6 months of 2015 as well.
Sweet.
Awesome. Miss Lilia, I see you typing a question, and I'm glad you joined us on the session. Steve says hello. Stay on the webinar right now, and for everybody else that is on there, okay, I'm going to give you a link which has the registration page, okay? You will get multiple text, emails, I don't know, maybe a voice blast. You will get some of those today. We love you, and that's why we are sending these updates and reminders, because you do not want to miss it. Absolutely not. You will kick yourself on the side of the head for missing out on some of the stuff. And if we have to make some updates to our personal blogs and accounts, I would like to know that you have done those and you're set up for success. So, Miss Lilia, and to everybody else, check your chat line right now. I typed in the registration link in there. Okay. If you're brand new and you are just wandered into the room and not quite sure what we're talking about, don't worry, that doesn't apply to you. This is directly for our group coaching students and any of the clients that we currently have enrolled in our training program. Where can I see the replays of these sessions? Lilia, at this point in the game, I would recommend you focus on the training series that I currently have you reviewing. Focus on that. And then you will also have, I am sending out a playlist later this week, okay? But these daily noon sessions run for about 30 minutes, sometimes about an hour. And depending on where you're at, okay, I don't recommend, I'll recommend a program or a plan that complements where you are, skill level wise, time schedule availability wise. You do not have to watch these replays in its entirety, okay? Especially if you still have to post your first blog. I think it's more important that you access your blog, you post something on there so that you have a good feel for how that works, as opposed to rewatching this video series, if that makes sense, right? Okay, what else we got on here? I think that should be it. Lilia, let me know that is clear on my update there for you. So there's no pressure on having to rewatch that playlist. I just want to make sure we are 100% clear on that. Also, that your API keys. Okay, she says thank you. Awesome. All right, you have your program. Stick with those training videos, and if you have time left, right, for your business, for your own fortunes, right. Start and do a blog post. I don't care if it's 3 words. Post something on your blog. You'll be happy you did it, and you want to get to that point that you know what, that was a lot easier than I thought, right? And you can start posting daily. Okay. Lilia says thank you. We'll follow your advice. Awesome, 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 awesome. So once again, if you get a text message, an email message, it's not just going to come from our main email provider. I proactively reach out to our direct members in our group coaching student program so that you guys stay on top of the latest that's going on. And when there is a webinar that I say you have to be on and that is a must attend, it is a definitely must attend, right? Because there's definitely some sessions you don't have to jump on, or there are other things you can be doing for your business that may require your time and attention. But all right, we are good to go. Lauren, any last tips, strategies, feedback, anything before we jump off of this session?
No, everything's good to go. I was kind of MIA last week because of my expo, so I have a lot of catch up to do.
Right. I mean, it happens. It happens to everybody, and that's absolutely okay. For me, you and me both. That's what I like about this series is because people actually get to see the realistic side of it. And again, you're working with people that are actively in the trenches in this day and age, building out an income-producing website, generating an online income, and planning their escape to the rat race. If you still don't have a website or blog or not quite sure what to talk about, start a website or a blog. Okay. The cheapest I found goes for about $1 a day. Fully functional, integrated SEO, very easy to use. If you got on this webinar, then you can manage and run that particular blog. Start one about your journey to success and your financial freedom, applying internet marketing concepts, okay, and testing them out for yourself, right? Test all the free stuff we're talking about. Document that. We want you to have 100% confidence moving forward that, hey, we want to work with these guys long term, okay? Or if we need to make some improvements, that we can talk about that. Or maybe there's a different business model out there for you. But at least this way, it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. You get to test the stuff, and it allows us the opportunity to earn your trust, to build a relationship with you guys, and do some serious business here long term. Once again, I'll close out and end with Henry David Thoreau's quote: advance confidently in the direction of your dreams. Okay, you will meet with unexpected success in the uncommon hours, but definitely advance with confidence. Do not move forward freaking yourself out, thinking absolute negative stuff, right? You may want to, put some fire under your bum, but not to the point that you are absolutely cooking bacon and you are a total crisp and burn out completely. Advance in confidence. So with that, guys, thank you so much. My name is Gil. On behalf of Lauren and Steve, we'll see you on the next live session, which will be on Wednesday at 12 noon. Buys all the content providers time to catch up from last week and update their content moving this week. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.